Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fan Interference with Wichita Wingnuts manager Pete Rose Jr. Fan Interference is a weekly program that gives you, the fans, the opportunity to send in your comments and questions to Pete about baseball or sports in general, or just seek Pete's wisdom about life events that are going on. In this week's show, Pete talks to us about the progress of his team and how well they've been playing of lately. He shares with us some baseball insights, and Pete helps a young man trying to get the girls to notice him. So let's get right to Fan Interference.
Well, we want to welcome back manager Pete Rose Jr. Pete, let's first of all start with team updates you have for us.
Updates is we made it back safely off this six-game trip or 7-game trip. We're getting back to playing the way that we're capable of playing. And we had a nice day off yesterday, but nothing really on the update front. We're just going to get back at it tonight against Kansas City and see what happens.
Let's talk about the big addition of Martin Medina for you, because he seems to have really been a spark for your offense.
I'll tell you what you talk about a great kid. I managed him in 2011 with the White Sox, and just one of those guys I kind of knew that someday, somewhere down the line, he's going to be somebody special, and he's just a baseball player. Versatile, can play third, can play first, but has been catching mostly past couple years. He became available when he got released from the Nationals, and I couldn't think of a better guy to come here in Wichita and get behind the plate for us than Martin. I mean, just a solid player all the way around, even better kid off the field. But yeah, he's definitely given us a boost, and I think he's going to be somebody to watch here in the next month, 2 months, 2.5 months as we go forward.
Well, excellent. Well, let us head into our fan questions for this week. We first of all begin with Tim from Wellington. He says, with the success the Wingnuts had this past week, do you think the team has finally turned the corner?
I think we turned the corner on opening day, to be honest with you. I'm not really surprised by it. But on the other hand, I understand the question because I'm lucky I get to be around these guys all the time. So we finally put together, a good 3, 4, 5, 6 games, whatever, not only offensively but defensively. We had some good comebacks in Kansas City. But like I said before, I'm not one to panic, especially with our guys. But I think we're headed in the right direction. Are we there yet? No, absolutely not. I don't think you get there till probably September. But we're on the right path. I mean, just an outstanding road trip by our guys, and it's a tribute to their hard work and their togetherness. So we're just going to keep building on that. And I think that once we turn the corner, as he'd like to say, I'll definitely be the first to let you know, but we're just going to keep working hard and being on time and playing the right way.
Lou from Wichita would like to know, has it surprised you to see how many players from the league are already being signed by affiliate clubs?
Not at all. That's a great question. Am I surprised some of our guys? Yes, definitely surprised that some of our guys are still here. But no, I mean, if you look around the league, the players are fantastic. I mean, it's great baseball to be played here, and it has been played here. So I'm not surprised at all. I mean, I think you can, if you're an organization and you're looking to get winning baseball players, I think, you go look to the independent ball leagues because it's not about development. It's about going out and winning. I think that, there's a lot of talented baseball players here in our league as well as, let's say the Frontier League or the Atlantic League. But, I'm not surprised one bit. And definitely excited for everybody's been picked up. I mean, it's a tribute to their hard work and, just looking for some of our guys to get up on out of here and get back to their goal of playing in the big leagues.
Tina from Wichita asks, Leo Vargas is really hitting and playing great defense, plus he is really cute. Are you surprised by his offensive production?
They say cute guys always are hitters, so I'm not surprised at all. Before I took the job here, I heard nothing but great things about Leo, and he just basically blew me out of the water when I finally got to meet him in person. You talk about a hard worker, a guy comes to the ballpark and plays the game the right way. I mean, he runs out pop-ups, he runs out balls back to the pitcher. Just a great, and once again, I know I sound like a broken record, but just another quality kid. I mean, a better kid off the field. But, people don't realize he works so hard. His success is a tribute to that, but I'll tell you what, I mean, you talk about a great first couple weeks of the season, and I think it's only going to continue to get better for Leo just because I know he's not going to take his foot off the gas pedal as far as working and getting out there and trying to get better.
One thing you were mentioning that I really was impressed by watching him in that week that you guys had that homestand is that from the moment that his bat hits the ball, he's flying out of the batter's box. It doesn't matter if it was a tiny pop-up or he drilled one to the wall. He's giving it his all from the moment he leaves the box.
Definitely. I mean, he plays the game the right way, and it's great because it's contagious. I mean, if you see a guy, hit a ball back to the pitcher and he's sprinting as hard as he can to first base, I mean, guys will take notice of that and be like, wow, if a young kid does that, man, maybe I should do that. And you know what? All of our guys, they do that. But Leo does it from, like you said, once he steps on the field, he's full go, wide open, and he's fun to watch. And I think he definitely has a future in this game. Not only here, but I think he's another one of our guys that has a chance to get signed and get up on out of here. But only time will tell. And I know, and until that happens, I know he's going to be here working hard every day and just trying to get better and helping us win ball games.
Grace from Derby would like to know if you think the changes you have made have solved your bullpen problems.
No, not really. I just think the bullpen guys are just getting back to being themselves. I mean, we had some injuries. I don't do anything. I mean, that's, and I've heard, you've heard me say it before. It's all tribute to the guys on the team. I mean, they're the guys that are going out and doing it and everything else, and I'm just trying to stay out of the way. But our bullpen at the beginning of the year was just not, just basically trying to find their way, and I think they're coming into their own. And I think that having an offense like I do, like we do, definitely is going to help them. Understand that they can go out and give up a couple runs. I mean, nobody wants to do that, but I think when you have the luxury of going out to do that, it makes them settle down. And, you have Frankie Reed in the back end who, if you just kind of watch him and just try to do what he does, I think we're going to be okay. But I think, going forward here, I think our bullpen, they're going to just continue to get better on a daily basis and keep us in games and shut games down when we have a lead and give us a chance, when we're behind. But, they've been doing a great job, and they had a great 7-game road trip, and now it's just time to get back home and see if we can do it at home. I just hope we're not a better road team than we are a home team. Hope we can win at home, but we'll see what happens starting tonight.
Kendra from Wichita would like to know, why do baseball players chew seeds during games? Is it more like a nervous habit?
No, I'm hungry. I mean, and it's really the only thing that you really, and it stinks at our place because you can't chew seeds because it's turf, but I think some guys it's a nervous habit. Some guys it's just a baseball thing. Other guys are hungry. I mean, they got protein bars in there. They got gum. I'll get the Sour Patch Kids every once in a while and take a bag down there, just something to pass the time. I mean, you got to remember, I'm managing now. I'm not playing, so I get kind of bored down there, just walking and pacing the dugout. But I think it's just a baseball thing 90% of the time. But they got all these flavors now instead of just the old-fashioned David Sons original sunflower seeds, so we'll go with the nervous habit. I like that.
Tim from El Dorado asks, I hear players talking about losing their mechanics in pitching or losing their swing. Is it hard to keep throwing and swinging the same way so you lose your mechanics?
Another great question. It's hard to keep your brain from telling you to do something different. It's easy to swing the same, and it's easy to do the same. But when you get up there and something happens, and it might be a little thing as far as maybe an umpire calls a borderline ball a strike or a borderline strike a ball, maybe you hit one, you just missed it, or maybe you got it all in the, let's say the wind was blowing out, whatever the case may be. But baseball players they change their thinking, and I think that's what changes, guys' swings, guys throwing mechanics, guys trying to do too much, guys trying to throw harder, trying to hit it harder, trying to do this, trying to do that, instead of just going out and being themselves and just, working on the same thing they work on batting practice and flips and bullpens and stuff like that. So I think their brain gets in the way more than, let's say, their swings or them throwing the baseball. And I think once their brain gets in the way, that's when you start, it kind of spirals downhill, and you got to kind of start over and go from there.
I think people don't really understand that. I think it's hard for you to do anything. You don't sweep the same way. You don't cook a cake the same way. You don't type the same way. You always change in some way or another.
And baseball's a different game. You can't do everything the same as everybody else. So, it's just, listen, it's set up to fail as far as an offensive standpoint. I mean, if you get 3 out of 10, you're above the normal. So that should tell you right there on how hard the game is. But it's just a matter of trying to do the same all the time, and that's why baseball players are so they have so many routines and they stick to it and they're regimented. Just because if you do the same thing, I think I wore the same outfit to the ballpark for the past six games when we won. I wore the same top, the same 6 days. I mean, it's just kind of something to keep you from getting out of your norm. And if I got to go to Starbucks to get a coffee, if we won the last night, I'll go exactly the same way. If not, I'll change it up the next day. It's just weird stuff like that I've been doing for God knows how long. But I think it's just it's more to keep your brain at ease that, hey, I'm doing everything right. Don't change and just stick with what you're doing because it seems to be working.
Mark from Wichita would like to know, does your dad ever teach baseball? I bet he has some incredible insights to teach.
My dad might be one of the worst teachers ever in the history of teachers. And to his credit, the reason being is he was so unorthodox. So if you're unorthodox and you've never experienced failure before, you're really not going to be that good of a coach because you don't know what it's like to help a guy out of a slump because technically I don't think he's ever been in one. And that just shows you how good of a player he was. But he says little things here and there that it'll take you a while to kind of, okay, now I know what he means. Okay, it's just awkward just because it's so natural and unorthodox to where he could wake up out of bed and hit a line drive. He could be, woken up, stay up for 3 or 4 days straight and hit a line drive. He's got that gift, and he's a great people's person. Don't get me wrong there, but as far as like mechanics and stuff and that type of deal, I would say no can do. He's just more of a see the ball and hit it kind of guy, as opposed to you start talking about all this stuff that they have going today. I mean, he'll look at you like you got 7 heads and you're from a different planet. But his little things are really good, but you got to be around him enough, to understand what he's talking about. And then once you understand that, yes, he's a very good teacher. But until you understand that, you just kind of look and it's like, Dad, I don't know what the heck you're talking about. We might just want to go get something to eat or something and just kind of shut it down. So,
Jenny from Hayesville would like to know, I've heard you talk on the show about how you have a titanium knee. Why is that?
That's from playing for 21 years of baseball, and it started in 2000. I had a meniscus and I had microfracture surgery in the off season. Then I went to spring training the next year, and first day out, my knee blew up. They took out 40 cc's of fluid. I got a lateral release at the end of that year, and it was just arthritic. And me being the crazy self that I am, I just decided that, I'm going to keep playing this game because I love. And I played the last 7 years on an arthritic left knee, and it was just bone on bone. And I had to go in and get a total knee replacement, and did that the off season in 2012. So that's my titanium knee, is on my left knee, and I'm young to get it, but I'm happy I got it because before I got it I couldn't even move. So that's the story of the titanium knee.
Graham from Wichita would like to know what your favorite position was to play.
I would say first base, just because I played third, I played left, I played first, I played some short, I played some second. I would say first base just because of my personality. I'm sure all you guys can kind of tell I'm kind of a gabby person as it is. So first base, you're always in the game. You're always doing something. You're always, it doesn't really get really boring over there. But, I enjoy playing first base. I think that was, by far my funnest spot to play.
John from Wichita would like to know, who is your favorite major leaguer to watch?
Man, God, I was thinking about that one when I saw that one too. Harper's fun to watch because he plays hard. Piscotty from St. Louis is fun to watch. Buster Posey's fun to watch. I just like guys that like to go out and play hard and kind of get dirty. Corey Seager from the Dodgers is fun to watch. But I don't really have a favorite. I just kind of like to watch guys that go out and play the game the right way. But on the other hand, I don't watch a lot of baseball, so I just kind of watch it from afar. I'm not that super fan that you would think I would be just from growing up in it. I like to, watch NASCAR or watch, stuff on A&E, Nat Geo, that kind of stuff for movies. That's, NBA finals are on, so I'm watching the finals. But just guys that like to go out and play hard. Donaldson's another guy that like to watch, but I don't really have a favorite.
Ollie from Lawrence asks, is it hard to grow up as a kid with such a famous father? Aren't the expectations unreal?
No, not at all. It was easy as can be to grow up with a dad like I have, or like I had growing up. And the reason I say that is I tell everybody, I'm just as normal as everybody else is. We put our pants on one leg at a time. We tie our shoes one shoe at a time. The only difference is my dad's got more hits than everybody else's dad. That's the only difference in growing up. And I grew up as Petey or Junior. I didn't grow up as Pete Rose's son, and I attribute that to my mom and my dad, and where we lived in Cincinnati. Everybody just kind of knew me as Pete. The only difference is my buddy's dad worked at the bank. My dad worked at Riverfront Stadium, but expectations weren't really high. Expectations were be on time and play the game the right way. And if I did that, and when I did that, and if I struck out 3 or 4 times, as long as I did those 2 things, my dad was as proud of me as going out and going 4 for 4 and, winning the game on a great catch or something like that. So expectations were put on by people outside of our family, press people, more so than anybody. I mean, I've been compared to my dad, which is fine, but they compare guys like Jeter and A-Rod and Ty Cobb to my dad. So if I'm in that kind of company, then I'm doing okay. But expectations were just to go out and play hard and be on time, and that's really all I did.
David from Wichita asked, hearing you talk about cooking, he wonders if there's going to be a Pete Rose Jr. steakhouse in Wichita.
We could do that. If he knows the spot and maybe some investors, we could definitely get one up. I mean, I would definitely, but I'm going to have to manage it from afar because I am from Cincinnati and I live in Cincinnati, but I'm in. I know we can have a great staff. We can have a great we could put up some great memorabilia in there, but tell him if he's got any ideas, I'm all ears, and I would love to get this thing started if that's what we want to do here.
Our last question comes from Tom. He says, Pete, all the girls go for the jocks. I am really smart and a super sweet guy. What can I do to get them to pay attention to me?
Just be yourself. I mean, I don't, I've always, I never wanted to be that guy that, was the jock and this and that and everything else. I just wanted to be myself. And I think if you just go out and just be yourself, and if the person you're after or that you want to talk to, and if she doesn't like you, then it's her loss. But I don't think you change. I just think you just go out and just keep doing you and do it as best you can. And I think if you do that, I think the right person will walk into your life, and next thing you know it, you'll be asking me, why did I tell you to do that? And you're married for 15 years and this and that. But I think if you just be yourself and concentrate on doing that, I think good things will happen, and don't worry about all the stuff that you can't control.
Great advice, Pete. Thanks for joining us this week.
Okay, man.
We want to thank Pete Rose Jr. for joining us on Fan Interference this week. If you have your own questions you'd like to ask the Wichita Wingnuts skipper, please send them to us at askpete@minorleaguesportsreport.com. That's askpete@minorleaguesportsreport.com. Please have your questions to us by Sunday evening so we can give the skipper a little time to review them before we record the show. I'm Rob Pannier, the managing editor of the Minor League Sports Report, and we'll see you next time on Fan Interference.